Now that a paper plate is dry, we're gonna go ahead and add our warp string that's gonna go across the plate. So the loom is the part that holds the string. So in this case, it's clay, and here we're using paper plate. The string that goes across is called a warp. The string we use to actually weave with is called the weft. So the first step is to set up the warp string, and we're gonna turn our paper plate over first. If yours is not already numbered, just take a marker or a pencil and start with 1 on one of the first little cut marks, and you're gonna number it all the way around underneath it until you get to 17. You should have 17 little cuts into the plate. So the first step is to take a piece of yarn, and we're gonna slide it into number 1. All right, and you just need a little monkey tail that's gonna hang down like that. And to make sure it really sticks, you can take a piece of tape and secure it on the back like that. All right, now we are gonna be looking at the numbers on this, so we can have this facing down the whole time, and we'll be using our string to kind of pull through the different numbers, all right? So get yours in front of you so that number 1 is at the top. All right, I'm gonna take my warp string in my hand. I'm gonna find number 10, and I'm gonna come up through number 10. I'm gonna make sure that I have this pulled pretty tight, not too tight it makes my plate bend, but enough that it's pretty taut there. All right, you don't want it to be like this where it's loose. You don't want it to be loose because then it won't make a very nice weaving. So we're just gonna make sure it's tighter, and it's coming up through number 10. All right, now we're gonna go over to the left. We're gonna go down into number 11. So it should go across the back, number 11. Now we're gonna make sure the yarn's coming underneath the plate, and I'm gonna find number 2, and I'm gonna stick it in number 2. All right, so now we're at 2, and then I'm gonna go next door to number 3, come down. So you should see the yarn in the front of the plate here. I guess it's the back of the plate. So number 3, then you're gonna take that yarn, find number 12. So you're coming under the plate, all right, to number 12. Now, if you look at the front, I'm starting to have my strings are starting to crisscross, all right? So I'm looking at this part now. I have number 12, and then I'm gonna go next door again to number 13, slide it in. Don't pull too tight that your plate starts to bend. I was pulling a little too tight there. All right, 13 to number 4. So now I'm at number 4. I'm gonna go next door, that rhymes, to number 5. All right, so now I'm number 5, and then I'm going to move to number 14. So I'm gonna go under the plate to number 14, and then I'm gonna go next door. You're starting to notice a little pattern. You're always gonna go next door and then across the plate. So now I'm going to 15, 14 to 15. I'm going across the plate underneath to number 6. There I am at number 6. I'm gonna come over next door to number 7. And then I'm gonna go across the plate again to number 16. We're almost done. So now I'm at number 16. Come around and next door to number 17. Okay, and then I'm going to go to number 8. All right, so now I'm coming up through number 8. It's looking good. And then the last one, I'm gonna go through number 9. And if you notice, we've gone through all of the numbers so far. So you should have these little pieces that are coming pretty much on every other one, right? So I'm gonna turn it over, and if you see, I have my weft created, and there's one empty space here. So this is where we're gonna begin our weaving. We're gonna find the end of our yarn. If yours is a little frayed or ruined from something, you can just give it a little snip if you want. And the first thing we're gonna do is start our weaving pattern by going under, over, under, over, under, over. Same pattern over and over and over again. And you're gonna see that's going to start to pull together and create a little circle pattern like this. It does get a little tricky for the first couple because it's not pulled together yet. So here's my trick. I like to weave closer to the edge of the plate, like that. And the first one's going to go under. All right, so here I am starting here. So the next one I'm gonna go under this string, over that one, under this string, over under, over, under, over. And then when I get about halfway, because my yarn is a little bit longer, I like to pull it so it starts to become a little bit tighter. And be careful that the yarn doesn't get caught anywhere, that it's going to be pulled nice and clean like that. Now, in the beginning, it can be confusing, and even as we're in the middle of our weaving, it might get a little confusing and get lost in the center, and you might think, oh my goodness, I don't know where I left off. Did I go over? Did I go under at last? Here's a little trick. Just pull on the string. So now this is actually called our weft string because we're weaving with it. Pull on it, and it will show you what the last warp string you went under. So here I am. I went under this one last. So if I went under this one, I have to go over this one next. That's going to help me when I get stuck. I'll just gently pull. Oh yeah, there I am. So now I'm going to go over, then under, over, under. I like weaving on the outside because it's easy to work with. It's less confusing. And then I can just simply pull it as I get around to the other side. And you're gonna see it's starting to pull tight in the center. Once again, I lost my place. Here I am. I went under, so now I'm gonna go over the next one. Over, under, and then when you get really good at this, you can go even faster. But at first, it's good to go slow, just till we get to the hang of it. And when your string is longer, sometimes it can get kind of caught on each other, entangled, so it is good to take your time in the beginning. So now I have under, over. I'm going to keep going. And then when I feel ready to either switch colors, or if when I run out of this color, I'm going to be able to switch over, and I will show you how to do that to a new color.